What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. I am fuming to the utmost. My 49ers apparently forgot how to play defense, so I'm not talking about football season, at least for another week. Conveniently enough, that's when we have our bye. So let's get into the fun stuff. Friday, as you know, is my birthday. Hasbro came through with the Pulse 1027 reveals and also had a big showing of some figures, more importantly, some figure news for me from London Comic Con or MCM. Not quite sure the title, but it's a big show and some big reveals from it. I'm excited about some things, especially for a brand that you probably don't think I'm going to mention on that one. But yeah, let's see what's going on. So let me break down some of the stuff I got for birthday weekend, and maybe you guys can tell me some of the stuff you got while we're hanging out here. What's up, Jamie? How you doing, my friend? Stug138. Evening, Jeff. Hey, everyone. Ryan Daly's in the building. What's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Doing pretty good. Dog, hope you had a great birthday. Many more to come. I did. I was able to go out and do some zombie paintball. So that was cool. Got to sit in a little tractor trailer type rig, had an upper level, lower level, and just blasting away at zombies. Pretty fun. If you haven't done that, you like zombies, highly recommend it. Snake Eyes, what's up? I'm rocking my G.I. Joe shirt, so you probably know that I'm most excited to talk G.I. Joe with you all today. Ryan says it's been a good year for HasLabs. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and Marvel Legends successfully funded, and Ghostbusters is 93% there after the first weekend. That's wild. I think that kind of shows when you do a HasLab that your customer base wants, they'll be all into it, and they will quickly fund these things. It doesn't need to be this last minute 12th hour kind of thing like, or I guess 11th hour. Are you going to get it funded or not? And we're seeing that. We saw that with the Ghost. We saw that with G.I. Joe. Not so much with Marvel Legends, but it got across the finish line, even got a tier done. So that's nice. And Ghostbusters, I'm really happy for all you fans out there because this one is rolling at a rapid fire rate. What's up, Blake? What's up, chatters? Brent Dash, happy belated birthday, Jeff. Oh, thank you so much. Afton Child is here. Hello. Henry G. Hey, Jeff, how goes things, brother? My Niners are trash. Taking some medicine right now for my just recovery. It's like a long thing. There's some stuff that I have to take the rest of my life. And then there's some stuff that's getting phased out. And right now, one of those phased out medicines is like, I won't leave you. So it's becoming a bit of a pain, but I'm still here to do these podcasts. So can't complain but so much. Jalen, what it do, Jeff? How you feeling? Any younger? I'm about to find some more Just for Men 97 and just kind of do some wild little painting on there just to make myself feel and look a little younger. We'll see what happens. Digital Diarrhea. Hey, Asil. What's up, man? Henry G. Happy birthday. Mine was Thursday. Awesome. What did you get for yours? I mean, we're action figure collectors, so I know you had to at least get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Yeah, zombie paintball was so much fun. It's just like that's cool. I'm wondering if they'll do it up a little bit more next year where you can like run around. They'll have zombies actually running around with you. That could be kind of fun. You be playing, Jeffrey, my man. Glad to catch you out and about. 1027 was so awesome. So much stuff. It was definitely fun, Jamie. Mr. Cheeseburger, only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe. Hope you're doing well, Jeff. I'm doing pretty good, my man. Johnny B54 here. Happy birthday. Thank you, Johnny. Breaking Sire. Hey, everyone. Good evening. What's up? Felix Fegens. Hope I said your last name properly. Good evening, Jeff. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Mad Planet 23. Hello, folks. Hello. All right, so folks, let's get into this thing because I was just like, all right, where are we going? And Hasbro and true Hasbro fashion, got to give them a little credit because this time they didn't have the leaks coming out on Thursday, kind of dulling the excitement. Excuse me. This time they dulled their own hype and buzz because they released the video for all the Pulse 1027 reveals a couple hours early. So at least no one else scooped them. This time they scooped themselves. And who knows? I mean, who cares? I mean, it was just a couple hours early, got more buzz, more excitement, and there were still a ton of people watching at 2 o'clock. But let's just jump into this thing because it was so exciting all this stuff they showed off. For Pulse Premium, 1027. And so much cool stuff. I'm all in. Let's get to it for the G.I. Joe brand because there's no need to go to anything else. I mean, let's just talk G.I. Joe. We got some name only reveals, just a couple, but these two are very exciting, indicating, giving us some clues in terms of where things are going to go. And as we've noticed, there's been a ton of Joe characters that they have knocked out from 82 to 85 to 86. And it's kind of that point where, yeah, it's about time to start getting some more of these wild cobras and villains. And it's really neat because you look at this image here. We've got Big Boa. He's coming. We've got Crocmaster. And now, name only reveal, Raptor is also coming. And I cannot wait to see all the wild stuff they do with this. Hopefully we get the Joe Kubert Hawkman style cowl with him. That would be really cool with the shading around his eyes. The Raptor gloves. How many Raptors will he come with? All kinds of exciting questions. And then the other one is the Iron Grenadier. And this is just setting up all kinds of expectations because we've got Metal Gear coming or Metalhead coming. And now we've got the Iron Grenadiers coming. And that just opens up so many more avenues of where they could go, what they could do, because I think they've done a really good job of knocking out all the main important Cobras. And now we're starting to go into factions. And G.I. Joe has so many cool factions. I mean, we got Python Patrol, but yeah, this is a really nice, fun faction for them to dig into. And I cannot wait to see where all the places they go. Before I go any further, let me just break down some of the stuff that I picked up and grabbed and was gifted because of my birthday weekend. Marvel Legends Kid Omega. This was really cool because this was a figure that my parents got me, and it's been decades since they got me an action figure. And most important, this is the last figure I needed to complete the Build-A-Figure Chode. So I am very excited about that to knock him out. Then I grabbed Power Man Luke Cage because I needed him in my collection life. He is finally here, finally, and I can't wait to review and open this bad boy up. And this little radio came through. It's the PulseCon exclusive Chuckles, and I can't wait to break them down. I know a lot of you all have gotten your Chuckles figures, and I'm excited to finally join those ranks. The rest of you, maybe you've gotten your emails now for Mole Rat, the Crimson Alley Viper being charged. I guess they should be shipping. My orders were slated for November 1st distribution, coming out then at that date. So they're not too far ahead. I didn't get any information about Shooter yet, and she's the one I'm most excited about of these three reveals. So looking forward to grabbing all three of those and having them come through. So at least I know I've got some more mail coming this week. So let's see what you guys are saying here. VLR Sierra 117 says G.I. Joe team just keeps killing it. Always can't wait for the next release. Can't put the Snow Serpent down and just got Stalker for $6 at Ross. That's cool. I actually did a little foray into Ross as well, and they had those retro G.I. Joe figures. So I got 3 Cobra Troopers, and that was cool. I got the Grunt, I got the Stalker, and being able to get those small 3.75-inch Cobra Troopers to join the ranks is really cool. I really wish they had continued that line because they were really cranking out some really great sculpts. And they're a little bit taller than the traditional figures, but oh man, so well done. Anyway, so let's see what all you got. Digital D says I ordered way too much toys this past week. Oh my gosh, my doorbell is going to die from all the deliveries. That's good that yours are actually ringing the doorbell. Mine, my FedEx guy will carefully place it down. Ditto for the Amazon Prime guy. But UPS guy may go, bam, there you go. So we'll see. Aaron Barnum, the toy enhancer. What's up, guys? What's up? Hemorrhage, I picked up the latest wave of Masterverse. A few multiverse figures. Also picked up Ripper and Tripwire and went to Top Golf. That is the way to do it. Did you get Ripper delivered to you already? Stug138 says the Hasbro G.I. Joe team is killing so many awesome figures. They are. It's wild because it's, every figure I'm kind of excited about. Really curious to see how they implement those figures, and then they execute them above and beyond what I'm expecting. It's just so wild to find a toy company, a brand that is just over delivering with every figure. It's so much fun. It's like, wow, you guys made Tripwire an actual deluxe where it doesn't feel like, really, you just threw in an extra pistol and called it a deluxe. It's so much involved in these figures. And with Metalhead, with Mutton Junkyard, they showed it's like, wow, we're back to window packaging. So many good reveals. So excited to see that. Ocean Views 888. What up? Hope you're feeling great. I'm feeling pretty good on this Sunday, besides my Niners. Vin Doom says, don't think that Vamp pack is worth $100, $60 maybe. I messed up. I meant Metalhead. Thank you so much, Ryan. Stug, Luke Cage looks great. One thing I noticed when I was at my comic book store, Third Eye, you might want to check the heads if you can go to a store, like a comic book store, that has them in stock, because I noticed the head, the tiara, was a little bit askew on some of those figures. So if you're able to, you might want to check it out, because I looked through about 4, but before I found one that was perfectly centered. And again, it's probably one of those deals where if you got it in the mail, it's slightly off, you wouldn't care. But, again, having the window package, being able to choose the absolute best version of the figure, so much better than just kind of guessing, hoping the figure you want is actually in there too. Firefly says the black uniform female from the ferret pictures are the Cobra female Night Stalkers. I've said it first. All right. Jameless says, nice. I just got Chuckles yesterday. Nice. 2020, my life changed, says G.I. Joe I don't know. Let me see. Help me out with that one. VLR Sierra 117 says, also Chuckles should be getting here soon. Can't wait. Yeah, it is. I feel like every time they drop, it's like, wow, this is cool. And I don't know, there's something fun about them coming into the house as opposed to tracking them down in the stores. I don't know. Something fun about that. Aaron Barnum says, I love finding them in the wild. It's like being a kid all over again. It is. So there's this mixed thing. I mean, there's some stuff you're not going to get in stores because they're just doing online only. But there is something really satisfying about catching these figures on the pegs. I feel like it's a little bit more competitive now, though, because I never felt this whole, oh my gosh, I'm going to 5 stores and I can't find Snake Eyes in this ninja outfit. But now some figures are really popular and they're really hard to track down. And it's like, there's so much competition. But when you do find them, it's like, yes, I won the lotto. This figure I was looking for weeks, for months, I finally tracked down in stores. Jameless says, an awesome completed show by getting Fang earlier in the week. Do you like Fang? I thought he was sneakily really good and really makes me cast a McFarlane Toys style side eye to Gladiator, who is just janky and needs a completely different mold and just redone, because I like Gladiator, but his figure is just not doing it for me anymore. Sinestro and Buzzer also arrived yesterday. Firestorm came today. Please let me know what you think about Firestorm. I am most excited about him and Sinestro and just can't wait to see what those figures look like with the rest of my DC Multiverse figures that you cannot see. Randall, love the Vamp. Excited for all things Joe's. Couldn't really care about the non-G.I. Joe stuff lately. Happy it's a birthdays, good sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Cheeseburger, the Vamp is $75. Clutch is $25. Perfect price. Vala knockoff is $185. Ronin X33. Hola. Oh. Blake, Jeff, do you know when these G.I. Joes start to pre-order? On a similar note, I know we're all talking Joes, but did you order any of the Spider-Man wave? Just Jack-o'-lantern wave for me. So let me pop that in real fast, Blake. So Drop Zone, Entertainment Earth, our good friends, my affiliate, Entertainment Earth, has some news on this stuff. It's a flash sale going down tomorrow, but also there's some more stuff coming. Find out the thrilling conclusion to this marvelous mystery drop. So Marvel stuff, I assume maybe more of those, but on the 31st, we got some small things, so maybe not there, but here we go. So I'm thinking the 31st is when we're going to find out or get our pre-orders for Mutton Junkyard and Metal Head. So I'm looking forward to that. And because those figures are packaged, let me pull those up if I can find them. They're so ridiculously hard to track down. It's kind of wild. Let me see here, because I was very excited to see this. Let's just pull them up here from the guys over at Toy News International. And we got these shots here of Mutton Junkyard, Metalhead, and very excited to see the window packaging back here in full display, full glory, and seeing all that great stuff that Mutt comes with. Love his head sculpt. Junkyard looks amazing, and Metalhead just has Metalhead. Yes, I said it right. He has so much stuff and so many missiles. I love that you can do a shorter exhaust, a medium size, and then a larger distance exhaust with the missile. Excuse me. That is really cool. Can't wait to put these guys in action. And because they're already boxed up, we've seen the package pictures. I'm thinking we'll make these figures before the end of the year. And my patience, my normal, I can wait for a little bit. I've got a ton of Joe's to review anyway. That's going to go out the window, at least for Mutton Junkyard, two of my favorite Joe characters. And now I can reenact that whole scene from G.I. Joe 26, where Tripwire, Mutton Junkyard, and Torpedo invade Zartan's cabin in the swamp. So I can't wait to do all that stuff. And definitely looking forward to adding more of those Dreadnoks to the field as well. Stickman, you can move Cage's tiara. He's cool, but unfortunately a bit disappointing. No crunch, boot swivel. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. There I go. Back already. And Hot Banana Water says, I'm now at the issue of wanting to buy the updated PlayStation Spider-Man after the game. I just don't want to drop over 30. Yeah, me too. All right, so we've been talking about it, and I've delayed it long enough. Let's talk about, to me, by far the most exciting reveal of the 1027 offerings, and there was so much I was excited about, but let's just go right into it, because I guess not right into it since I've talked quite a while, but let's talk about this Vamp. Man, this thing was wild. It was just so well done. I mean, all the detail, and I love when Lenny breaks down these figures and all the stuff they put into it, because you can tell he really loves what he's doing, and he's so excited to cram as much as he possibly can into all these figures. So it's really cool. So we got these hooks that you can use to tow some other vehicle here. Then they've got the actual grapple hook, so it can actually tow some more stuff. Really love that. You've got some lights. These tires have some spring to it. There's a little suspension thing, and he's pushing up and down. I really love that. The machine guns at the top, awesome. And the lights, they move around as well. Clutch has a helmet, so you can do some different stuff with him. And he's got like the fighter jet kind of style on his. So we got the basic one with grunt, and now we got a little bit more personalization. So you could do a steel core with different kind of helmets. So I think that's a nice avenue for army builders. So another way to go with that. Although I'm only getting one Vamp because this is Clutch's vehicle. I love it. You see here, we've got some foot pegs, so we can have Joe's, maybe plural. Maybe we can put one here and another one this side, or just have them tucked away inside, and Clutch is right there. Clutch has a little shotgun action. I love that. His figure is so cool. And Clutch is one of my favorite Joes. I love the fact that he's coming this early, or relatively early. Got some handlebars here too. So just a lot of great stuff they threw in to old Clutch and the Vamp. And then you can open up the top old school with it. You got the shovel that comes off. You can throw the helmet, the old school helmet, on top of that rear window there. But the tattoos are so great. He's got a pin up on the side. And that is, if you read the comic book, this is so Clutch. And I guess that sounds like the cliche, but that is so indicative of something that Clutch would have a tattoo of on his biceps so everyone can see it. You can only imagine what the generals are saying when they see this dude strolling in and he's got all his wild tattoos. And you see like how detailed that line is. That's really great. And it was fun watching Lenny actually rotate it back. That's that old school playability with just different parts. And then you got the wrench so he can fix it. I'm envisioning the Vamp to be sort of kind of like the Millennium Falcon, where it's breaking down half the time and Clutch just has to stop right away to fix it. Looks like he's got a flashlight. Not quite sure what this device is, but man, so much cool stuff thrown in to Clutch. And he's got the shovel here. So if he needs to bury a couple cobras or dig some of these tires out because they got stuck, lots of cool ways you can play with clutch and just all kinds of fun different avenues. So again, the handlebar on this side and then the display. I love the fact that it's so old school. It's got a little emitter there, but this is not necessarily a 2023 readout. I love the fact that you can go old school with him. And I think that was such a cool decision. And just the detailing in this thing is just like, wow, you guys weren't just throwing up some really fast and really quick vehicle just because you knew everybody was going to be down to get this vamp. It is so much work put into it. The gas canister, we got our stickers. I am hoping that we can actually apply those ourselves, because to me, so much of the fun with your GI Joes is putting on the stickers, trying to line them up just so. And the machine guns rotate around, which is fun. I'm curious about how much space I've got back here, how much range, how many Joes I can put on the back of the vamp and man those machine guns. And we got an axe too, so if Barbecue's riding along, he can pull out another axe. But maybe this is on fire, so Clutch has to do some work to get that going. Here you can see that extra additional helmet, but man, so much great value with this. And I'm like, all right, well, how much is this thing gonna be? And they put out this price point. Ryan mentioned it on our show right before Pulse 27, but $99 for this. I'm just like, good grief, you guys actually care about your customers. So much stuff: the fire extinguisher, the wrench, the axe, the pistol that goes in his holster on the side here, the helmet. Just so much great stuff in this vamp. And I mean, that is a great deal when you consider we're paying $75 for the vamp. And this totally changes things to me. I mean, this felt like a game changer. We've got the vamp, something that I was like, oh man, I'm really hoping we don't have to go the HasLab route for this. No, we're getting it through the Pulse. It's a Pulse exclusive, and maybe what they do is use some of these parts, show how much it sells, and then go to Target and go, listen, we can do the Vamp Mark II for you. We can do the Stinger through Amazon, another exclusive. Which one do you guys want? And I would love, I know we're never going to find this out, just to know how many people pre-ordered this since Friday, because I really would love to see how this would match up with, say, just the HasLab. Like how many backers this got with the first opening weekend for it, because I feel like a ton of people were really excited about it. And then the price point was like, well, shoot, I've got to get it for $99, because you just have to factor, just like a tier with a HasLab, clutch is not being thrown in. So you factor in $25 for that price. Vamp is then $75. Cannot beat that for that price, especially when you factor in, and I think some of the guys on the chat also mentioned this, and oops, I keep trying to spell it correctly, the Trouble Bubble, another really great vehicle, is $54.99. So I feel like the Joe team is actually paying attention to how they're pricing. They're not trying to go wild, not trying to go crazy. It's, yeah, okay, here's something. And of course, when I'm factoring in this $54.99 price point, I got to take out $25 for the Televiper. So this Trouble Bubble is not that massive. It's not a huge vehicle. And they were like, yeah, we agree. It's about $25. So, or $23. So I love the fact that they're pricing these things to a point where it's, yes, that's exactly a fair price. I love to pay this for anything else. So this clearly opens up everything, the Devilfish, the Armadillo, without feeling like we're getting taken advantage of price wise. And man, this means so many larger scale vehicles, because I figure the Vamp is, the medium size, what they could probably charge with no problem. But is there a $150 price point vehicle that would make sense to go through Pulse and not have to wait for a HasLab? I kind of wonder, now that we've seen the Vamp, if the Thunder Machine would qualify for a $150 vehicle. Would that be worth it to you all? Is that something that would be a fair price, or does that need to be a HasLab? Especially when you consider the Thunder Machine, it's a driver, it's a shotgun driver, and then just foot pegs, basically handlebars for the rest of the dreadnoughts to ride along the sides. And when I'm thinking of that, then I'm going, well, shoot, I got to throw in Thrasher, of course, but is that just another $100 vehicle, or is it 125? Is it 150? I don't know. I feel like the Joe team is really on the pulse, pun intended, with the pricing structure for the Joe line. Let's see what all you guys have been saying. I've been talking for a minute. Tanner Ruiz, yo, what's up, Jeff? Hope you're feeling good and hope things turn out well. Thank you, my friend. I am just about getting there. Ryan says the 30s is when Tombstone and the other 2 Spider-Man figures will drop. I definitely want to get that Tombstone. I'll break into those Marvel Legend figures soon. Stug138 says Junkyard, so cool. So absolutely cool. Ryan says nice that Metalhead has the Iron Grenadiers logo on his package now that they've announced Iron Grenadiers are coming soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how long. I mean, shoot. I mean, it seems like Destro and his Iron Grenadier gold helmet, gold almost teeth would work now. But does he work? Is it a spoiler? I think that was the name of his smaller size vehicle. I don't think that needs to be more than a Vamp. Maybe it's priced around the same price point as Serpentor and his Air Chariot. But this is opening up all kinds of stuff, and I'm very, very happy about that. Chamberlain says, I'm pretty satisfied with both Sinestro and Firestorm. Sinestro's construct is kind of an odd choice, but aren't they all? And Firestorm seems a bit tall to me, but that's not a huge issue for me. Yeah, I think his DC Classics, his DC Icons figures has skewed a little taller. And I don't know if I care that much because normally the flame justifies some of that extra height. But since that one's kind of a little bit more reserved, flame's a little cautious, not really trying to go full Inferno, he probably should be a little shorter. And Mr. Cheeseburger says the closed packaging with the call-outs and Easter eggs was so much better. Now, I do think that you aren't wrong on those. I'm wondering if we'll see a little bit of that personalization on the back of those figures, though, where we see, hey, here's something else. I'm trying to see if we have those packaged pictures of the Vamp, because I thought it was really fun to see what looked like the Cobra Ferret in the background. There we go. So that's exciting. And definitely, I think it's kind of cool because it looked like, for sure, Clutch is posing. The Ferret driver is posing. Is this another $55 plus $25 figure thrown in here? But this is so cool that we're getting all this stuff. And I do love the personalization they put into these. Maybe we'll get those images on the back because I think, you know, those are cool, and I would hate to lose them totally, even though I love seeing everything in the figure. And I also love the fact that they went completely old school. You see Clutch on the side of it, and then we see the rest of it in box form. There we go. Let me show you that full view. So it's so classic G.I. Joe. We get to see the figure and the vehicle we're going to see as we unbox it and piece it together. That unboxing of the Vamp was really cool as well, seeing everything come together. And this is exactly what I envision for things like the bridge layer, the Wolverine, where you're piecing some of those elements together. I definitely think the Wolverine needs to be in play at this point. Maybe that's 150. Maybe that's still, since we have a CoverGirl, maybe they can get away with charging $100 for it, making it a little wider, a little bit longer than the Vamp, and still going, you got CoverGirl already. You don't need another one. Or they went with, hey, we still need to throw a vehicle driver in here. Go that cartoon route. Give CoverGirl the blonde hair. That way it's like, hey, a little something for everybody here, and maybe a better head sculpt. Mad Planet 23 says, Jeffrey, are Metalhead and Mutt post exclusives? I don't think so. I think they're going to be wide open for everybody. I think they've done, for the most part, they've stuck to the deluxe characters being a fair game for everybody. You know, Snow Job, Tripwire tend to have been some exceptions to that, but I think we're going to see these guys all around everybody. Right, we still need Wild Weasel. He was with Firefly in issue 26. He was. They were chasing around. They escaped the vines, and oh man, will the Rattler be a HasLab? Because at this point, I'm like, everything is here. It's available. Maybe even the killer whale at this point. So I feel like if we're going to go with the HasLab for G.I. Joe, it's time for a Cobra vehicle. Maybe we can get the Rattler out there. And I feel pretty confident that would fund with no issue. They can throw in some random Cobra troops as your tier offerings if you need them. But wow, getting the Rattler? Oh, man, it'd be awesome. Jamie, I do think the collector editions are overpriced for what we get compared to the basic line with you. Felix says that Vamp is fire. Yes. VLR Sierra 117. I think the Vamp is appropriately priced at $100. Exactly what I expect. Picked up too. Nice. I know there's no licensing to pay with Joe's, but definitely puts the pricing of the EOV HasLab into question again. Yeah, because it's like that's a lot of stuff we got for the Vamp. And I feel like the construction of that is basically all we wanted with Robbie Reyes and his Charger. You don't need all this interior lighting. Nobody cares. People do care. I shouldn't say nobody, but I feel like the majority of people would go, this lighting is going to make it X amount more expensive than if you don't have it. People are like, all right, let me get some little sticky tape and I'll put my own LED lights up there if I need that in my life. But yeah, this pricing is dead on to what we kind of think is fair. And I love the fact that we don't have to go, man, if only the Vamp was $100. I don't know why they're charging $125. I guess that's okay. It's like $100. Sign me up. Mr. Cheeseburger says, G.I. Joe is all I collect. I dropped every other line. Wish I would have done it sooner. Ronan says they packed a lot into it. The only downside is the wheel did not seem to turn left or right. That's interesting. I wonder if they will, but I don't know, because I want to take that Vamp in the backyard, clear out some G.I. Joe photo shooting space. That's what I'll call it. And have that thing going up and down, cliffs and all this stuff. It's so much fun. Can't wait for it. Eric Thurman, it is super cool indeed. Ryan says somebody said his steel core helmet looks like Raphael, and now I can't unsee it. I think is what you said, because I can't unsee it now either. The Vamp is the chef's kiss, says Stug. It is so great. G. Brew said pre-order the Vamp and the Scarlet Spider. Most importantly, to me at least, I backed the Ghostbusters HasLab. My inner 3-year-old saw him and was obviously, I need those. Yeah, I think they did a really good job for everybody who was looking forward to it. And another thing with the Vamp reveal unboxing, Emily and Lenny basically said, we're going to give you a tow rack to use on your missiles to destroy Cobra planes. So what in the world could that be? Now I'm wondering if this is going to be the MMS that we can get with Hawk and his Colonel Hawk attire, so we can basically reuse the Stalker mold or reuse almost all of the Grunt mold, just swap out his chest harness, go with the Stalker one, paint it up silver, and call it a day with a new Hawk head sculpt, hopefully with the blonde crew cut going all the way vintage. But yeah, I hope we get that really soon too. Blake can't wait for the Grand Slam with Jump Jet. You know he's going to have a Steel Brigade head swap. Yeah, that's probably true too. Randall says, I also got Firestorm in today. Looks nice. Plus, I got my McFarlane Store Wave 5 Superpower bundles. Nice. Hope all are offered inside. Stug, can't wait till they announce the ferret. Johnny B54, hoping Larry Hama drops the new classified editions of the His Tank with his added new armaments and classified Vamp and the A Real American Hero comic starting up in just a few more days. Cannot wait for that. Mad Planet 23, I love that helmet design for sure. Ricard says, heart, yes, love it. Jalen Park says, I love the look of the Vamp and the price. I did guess the price would be around $85, but I did forget it's coming with clutch, and it has way more details and features than I expected. It's so well done. Yeah, I mean, it's just the overpouring of work, attention to detail, and just like the, hey, how can we plus up the original Vamp and make everything playable is just, I feel like this is the Vamp. I mean, I thought we all loved the Vamp back when we were kids, but I think our expectations, this classified series, as G.I. Joe has evolved into the 6-inch line, I think this is exactly the kind of Vamp we wanted to go along with these classified series figures, and they totally knocked it out. Carr says, this is so cool. Fire, fire, fire. Absolutely. Lefty D Lions BK. Ayo! LMF Crew, Sunday edition. Yes, special bonus. Maybe I'll do one next Sunday since the Niners are not playing for a 4th consecutive week. Blake Tarpley says there's hope for medium vehicles that are slightly larger than the Vamp for retail release. 125, 150. Yeah, man. It's like, this is really opening up a lot of things. And I really want to see if they would just give us some indication like, posting on Instagram, hey guys, you've been so awesome. The Vamp has sold so well. We're really encouraged. We're going to do some more vehicles. I hope we get to hear that at least a little bit. Snake Eyes, I like his tattoo. I kind of wish it was not $100, but it doesn't bother me. But did you say you went to your comic store? I did not see any Thundercats. I totally went down the other aisle. I'm sorry. I will try to switch that up the next time I go and let you know. All About the Villain says, yo, yo, yo. Actually, Third Eye Comics is all day Black Friday with 20% off the entire store. So I will definitely go back then to take advantage of some of those pricings. So I'll probably let you know for sure then. Ryan says, Lenny said, if when they do, come on, we don't even need the if at this point. When they do a Thunder Machine, it'll be retail. Oh, that's sweet. That's bigger than the Vamp and probably in that 125, 150 range. Now, I really hope for that the collecting community doesn't go, I'll just wait till it gets to Ross. Save up your coupons, your Target, Red Circle, Point, your dollars from that, and buy this thing when it comes out because we want those bigger vehicles for G.I. Joe. And if the first one gets sucked into Clarenceville, I don't think the odds are great of getting more vehicles like the size of the Thunder Machine. I wonder if the Havoc would be considered a little bit too larger because I feel like they were matched up as comparable vehicles. This is the Dreadnought / Cobra version. This is the Joe version. So maybe the Thunder Machine does well at retail. That just opens up the door for Havoc at retail and not as a HasLab. Let's Do Two Lions BK says the Vamp 400 is a bit jarring, but this is the new normal. Not egregious, but still a pinch in the wallet. Now, see, I'm really curious to see what people would have said if we would have gotten a Wolverine with CoverGirl, and that was $125. Because I feel like some of the price for the Wolverine is not going to be the same as the Vamp, simply because it's not going to have a figure with it. So would you rather pay $75 for the Vamp and then have to pick up Clutch later, or would you prefer getting it all at once? For me, I'm all about the vehicle drivers coming with their vehicle. So if it adds on an extra $25, then I know immediately this is the price I'm paying for the figure, and the base price for the vehicle itself is this amount of money. So yeah. I was just hoping the Vamp would be $75 total. That would have been a really, I think for all the detail they put in, that would have been a rough one. I feel like there's more put into the Vamp than $25 more than the Trouble Bubble with the Televipers. I feel like that price is pretty balanced and pretty fair. I'm not normally one to go, oh yeah, the company is charging just the right amount of money. I think we'd all want stuff to be cheaper, but I feel like in this case, it's a fair price. I don't feel like, are y'all serious? Why are you charging this much for this stuff? So I think they kind of nailed the price point there. I hope the Ferret will be $55 for the 2-pack because I need to troop build them. I'm curious what the price point with those would be because I feel like that's not it's definitely not the Vamp size. Should figure you put 2 figures on there. That price should be around the price of the Trouble Bubble, maybe a little bit more. I know we were going to get 1 vehicle driver with it, so I don't know. I'm curious what the price of that would be because I definitely think that's something that a lot of people want to army build, throw their Dreadnoughts on there if they don't want to go the traditional bikes, but lots of ways to go with the pricing for the Ferret. All About the Villains also says, but definitely need a Rattler ASAP. I will take it. Ronan X33 says, we have Titan Class $199 Transformers. I'm sure Hasbro will put out a G.I. Joe class vehicle at that price if it makes sense. VLR Sierra says Thunder Machine can absolutely be a $150 Pulse release and would definitely be down. Yep. Aaron Barnum, the toy enhancer, says Thunder Machine should be right at $100. I don't want to get your hopes up on that one. I think 125 is probably where they'll go with it. I would happily pay $100, but I think that's gonna be a little bit more. So probably cost a little more too. Breaking Tire, betting Dusher under the spoiler is going to be an SDCC or more likely PulseCon exclusive. So speaking of PulseCon exclusives, apparently Dr. Mindbender was back up on Pulse once again. I don't know what happened. Maybe there were a bunch of cancellations from people who had pre-ordered and were like, nah, I don't want it anymore. Because it seemed like they had finished their production run of them. So I guess some more just became available, but hopefully some of you all who were still looking for it were able to pick it up because that was pretty exciting. No news so far on Serpentor getting back out into the wild and pre-orderville, but Mindbender was, so maybe there's still hope for Serpentor. So keep stalking it if you're looking for those still. And I think, saying all that, I don't know if they want to put Destro in his Iron Grenadier look as a Pulse exclusive or San Diego Comic Con exclusive that could potentially sell out. I think for that one, he's going to be an important figure as they start veering more into the Iron Grenadier territory, to have him not lead Metalhead and your massive Iron Grenadier army. I think what they're going to have to do is just go bite the bullet, put it everywhere so everyone can get him and not have to worry about it, because we want people to buy in further and further into our Iron Grenadiers faction. Mr. Cheeseburger, I don't care what the price, whatever comes out for G.I. Joe, I'm buying it. All of it. My main line, my only timeline. Let's see, Lions BK says still waiting on the G.I. Joe Wolverine. Had it as a kid, need it now for the collection. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed we got CoverGirl without the Wolverine, but now that I see Clutch coming with it, I assume we're gonna get the Ferret with the driver. I feel like they're going to get around to CoverGirl's vehicle relatively soon, because she's the only one who has a vehicle that got a figure released before. So I guess Copperhead's water moccasin should be definitely on the table. And it's really a question of which way they want to go with it. Do they want to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit wider? Does it just need to be a Pulse exclusive? Again, no need to charge us for the vehicle driver because we've got that. And would $75 for the water moccasin be a fair price? I would think so. Ryan says the back packaging shows Easter eggs. Can see probably Naugahyde on the back of Metalhead's package. And there's a croc on the back of Mutt's, either Fiona or shout out to Cobra's Creatures. I did love seeing a little shout out to Naugahyde. That was fun. Those two were buddies in the cartoon. So that's nice to see. And I would be down for Naugahyde as well. How is the Ghostbusters thing? What do you mean, Snake Eyes? Critical Enjoyer, Vamp, and the upcoming Pinless Classic Duke and Scarlet are pulling me back into this line. Yeah, man, it's just, I didn't leave when I started. I've just been amazed how they've been able to keep building momentum with every wave release. It felt like there was a long lull where it was like, okay, I've got all the figures. What's up with the new releases? And now they finally come, and it's like, wow, I'm never going to say this is too many G.I. Joe releases. It's like, this is so many fun figures to buy and pick up and add to the collection. So I'm really enjoying that. Stickman, at this point, the only thing G.I. Joe Classified is missing are file cards for the characters. Oh, man, yeah. I love the website having those skill traits. I really actually like going through and combing through. Oh, this is their specialty. But yeah, I would love to see something in the packaging that had the file card, just to show out that personality of the character, because as a kid, I'm sure for a lot of you all, that informed how I play with them. Like, okay, this character doesn't like this. Tripwire's a klutz, so he's got to fall over everything all the time. Flint's a natural born leader with that cocky smile. So I want to see that kind of stuff again. That'd be a nice touch to bring back. Mr. Cheeseburger, Ghostbusters is 94% back. Ghostbuster fans are some real ones. They come out and support their HasLabs. They do. G Brew, I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan, especially Egon Spindler. The PKE meter is Egon's signature gadget, as I have a whole shelf devoted to just Egon. I need that PKE. The Ghost Trap looks incredible too. It does. Big Rib. Hello, Jeffrey. Hit that like, everyone. How you doing, Big Rib? Digital D says, people blame Hasbro too much for the Star Wars and Marvel failures. I'm sure the Disney lawyers and marketing are way more responsible for that. Firefly, we need that stinger to drop. Absolutely. I would love a Rattler 2-pack with Wild Weasel. Me too, all about the villains. Got to make that happen. Mr. Cheeseburger, EOV came with 5 figures, 21 LED lights, 2 car modes, and blast effects. Marvel fans didn't want to pay $350, but when Mayfair figures but we'll pay 150 for Mayfest figures and swear it's the best figure ever. Shaking my head. I know, man. I really love those Mayfest figures. Some of those are like great. I won't need another version of Steel, Cyborg Superman. This Nightwing is really dope. Of course, he's got other outfits that I would like, but this version, I'm good. So I kind of feel, and gosh, I hope we're not paying 150 for most of your Mayfest figures, but I feel like we're worth. Firefly wants to see another Ghostbusters pack. Baby Vinkman. Excuse me. VLR Sierra 117. Have yet to even put batteries in my Sentinel Galactus. I definitely don't need lights and a Hell Charger. It'll be appreciated just fine without them. Oh yeah, they did say we're getting an MMS during unboxing, and I'm really hoping that that's fast track, that we're going to see that. Guess we still got 2 more months, so technically we could still get another G.I. Joe live stream or 2, hopefully. All About the Villain says, we got 75 people in here and only 24 likes. Let's get them up to 75 ASAP. Oh, thanks. I mean, you guys want to like it. That's cool. The fact that you guys are watching, I definitely appreciate it. So, yeah. I'm going to talk about those Marvel Legends. I didn't forget. I definitely will. I just want to make sure to address all the love for G.I. Joe. Ryan, I can't say why, but I don't think 82 Hawk will come with MMS, assuming we get one. I think it'll be somebody like Short Fuse or Thunder. Just guessing, though. I'm down for Short Fuse. I think he actually makes a lot of sense to come with MMS because that was basically his game anyway. So, yeah, it'd be fun. Just package him with the MMS and have his mortar. That would be cool. Thunder, I don't want to see with MMS because I want to see him come with, gosh, what was his vehicle? Of course, I would blank on that. But anyway, I want to see him come with this vehicle. I think now that everything's on the table, he's one that we should get with his vehicle. The Havoc of the classified scale would be bigger than the Hiss. Yeah, which was a HasLab. So, yeah, you're right. Randall, how much would a Zartan vehicle cost? The one he came with, the Skip, that would be maybe $25 for it, I would think. I would think they could do that in $30. They can't package it with another Zartan since we've got 3 out there. But yeah, maybe 35. I think would be fair for that. Cheaper Ghostbusters is my favorite movie of all time. It's a solid choice. Has been since I was 3. Egon is my favorite character from anything ever. I am giddy about this HasLab. Nice. I'm thinking the Thunder Machine would be at the same price point. I feel like if they were to put a price point between the Vamp and the HasLab, it would be a bit larger and higher. Ghostbusters HasLab is at $9,349. It's wild. After Child, who's gonna go? Ghostbusters! Henry G earlier said Ripper. I meant Buzzer. Okay. I was really curious. Like, oh shoot, he's out there too? I gotta grab him now. Lexi Lions BK says 125 for an updated and properly equipped Wolverine tank with a generic green shirt Joe or a variant cover girl would be cool with me. I wonder how many people would complain to get a better head sculpt version of cover girl thrown in there. Mike Power says maybe we'll get a blonde, longer hair version of cover girl with the Wolverine. Yep. Jalen, have they said where Metalhead will be available? Are the Iron Grenadier characters going to be retail exclusives of some sort? As long as Walmart doesn't have a bunch of exclusives, I'm happy. I really miss the file cards. If not on the package or an insert, and I wish they'd make a printable PDF with language options on the site. I'm with you. I mean, I actually like going to the website and reading those bios. And then they were just like, all right, we're not updating that anymore. And I was like, come on. But I wish they would do that. I mean, if they could pay me a Joe every other month, I would happily do that for Hasbro. Talk to Larry Hama, put him on Zoom and say, hey, which way we're going to write this character? And do it for just a figure month. Maybe I really don't. Christopher Charles Volpe. Did Hasbro mention what the release date will be for the next 3 figures? Not yet. Maybe as soon as Tuesday. Randall says, how much do you think a HasLab Ecto 1 scale for the 6-inch line would cost? With the lights and siren, it would have to be around $350 plus, and that is being generous. I think Ghostbuster fans would pay that price for it. And I think, you just have, you have the trunk open up so everybody can put their proton packs in there, the traps, all their gear in there. Maybe throw in Slimer as a tier. Would he count as a figure? I think that would work. But I'm sure Ghostbuster fans would support an Ecto 1 and 6-inch scale going all out with lights, sirens, old deal. Maybe they can play a clip of Ray Parker's who you're gonna call Ghostbusters in there soon. I think that'd be fun. Oh, good. All About the Villains, Deadpool, Hydra, Bob, 2-pack went back up for the sale on 10/27 as well. Finally got them ordered since I missed the window before. Felix Egan says, smash that like button. Hulk smash. Felix wants to see Flash with a fly cannon. For real. I want Flash is one of my original favorites. So I got to get him. We know we're getting Scarlet. We've already got Stalker and we got Snake Eyes. I can have my original 4. I wouldn't mind seeing them do another version of Breaker. I feel like the one that came with the Ram cycle could stand to use a different, better body combination. And then maybe they could go all the way classic and then give him the clean shaven look. Throw in a bubblegum attachment, just do a head sculpt like they did with Jubilee for the Marvel Legends line. And I would be so happy. I don't know if they care on that level because I feel like they tend to skew a bit more to the toys and then cartoons. Maybe they're not as big a fan as the comic book, but I would love to get Breaker in his comic book look in this classified series line as well. Yes, the Slugger. I wasn't quite sure if that's what the name of it, Jamelin, but thank you. That was his deal. J-Brew, I paid $350 for a 6-inch Ecto 1. Hey, Jeff, did you pre-order Gold Label Lobo and Space Hawk? No, not yet. I am absolutely planning to get it, but as Mr. Cheeseburger would say, G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe just trumps everything right now. So I gotta focus in on them, but eventually I'll get it because now we've seen the Gold Label Batmobile back in stock. I don't think there's going to be any concern or worry about that selling out. Ricochet Rick, Hasbro stocks reflect poor running of licenses in recent years, poor QC, pricing customers out, poor customer relations, etc. It all adds up. Felix says, I kit bash my Breaker with Grunt. I need to see how that looks because I feel like that would be the good way to go. Vin Doom, what do I think about the McFarlane Lobo with this bike and price? Like I said, I thought it was a very fun figure. I thought he does really great work with figures that he can do everything he really wants to do and go all the way out with. And I think this Lobo is a great example of that. I mean, the Space Hog has really great shiny metallic blues. The front of it with the skull axe piece up front is awesome. The engine detail is really well done. The back, I guess that's a big exhaust, also looks great. The dog with the helmet, great. Lobo having 2 head sculpts is a really nice way to go with that. And I think, alternate head sculpts are always my preference for these figures. I just love being able to do different things with them. And I love this alternate head sculpt for Lobo too. So I think it's a really good deal. I think it's $70. So nothing too outrageous or too crazy. I think he knows the price point that works best for these figures. And if I'd already didn't have that first Lobo, I would have jumped on it right away. But I actually like that first one. So I'm not like, oh my gosh, I've got to grab it right now. I'm a little bit behind on some of the McFarlane figures I want anyway. So still need Sinestro, Firestorm. I feel like there's a few more. So some others I don't want to get maybe before another version of Lobo. All About the Villain says Stinger will be soon. They have the Great Trooper on the promo pics of Vamp. Yep. James Green, what's up, crew? Good to see you. Jeffrey, hope you're feeling better. Yes, I am, my friend. All right, let's talk about that. So I've gone through all the shows, and I think we've really broken all that stuff down. But let's take a look, courtesy of the guys at His Tank. The very exciting new images of Mutton Junkyard in action. Sure, Shooting the Galaxy shot these photos, and they look really good. Metalhead is looking like he is going crazy nuts. So much stuff to throw in there with him, and he's got the Cold Slither on that chest piece part 2, the mouth and neck protection area. So that's really cool, and just love all this stuff. Mutton Junkyard looked like they're going for it. I kind of wish he had the Uzi like his original figure, but yeah, really nice stuff. The goggles on the helmet, just a fun figure, and those two I'm really looking forward to grabbing. Dog, so excited for the new Jack-o'-lantern body. Yes, finally we'll be able to get a buff Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. I like where your head's at. So yeah, and hopefully they can go really classic with the head sculpt of Green Goblin, because I still have my Toy Biz one front and center of my Spider-Man Rhodes display because it's like, sorry, your versions before haven't gotten it done. And I mean, Toy Biz is just champ right now. Murphy, I got the new tripwire. My very first Joe in 83 when I was 6 and thought it was great that you could pull off his arm and leg armor and make him look pretty close to the OG 1983 version. I love that too. I love the fact that if you wanted to just cobble together another one and just a random bomb disposal guy, you could do that as well. Maybe there's an option for those of you who are finding those $6 stalkers. You can just put all that gear on him and go, hey, there you go. Here's another Joe. Cheaper says, I wish Hasbro would do some RGB figures in a 6-inch scale. The Diamond Select ones went super fast and are now like 200 each on the secondary market. GB fans need some good, modern, real Ghostbusters. I'm sorry, I just realized what you were saying. So yeah, I would be down for those too. I love that cartoon back in the day. Let's pull it back up here. Let's see. All right, so before I get to Marvel Legends, I just want to talk about Hasbro actually showing up for the Star Wars line. I mean, this is one I always like, you guys are dropping the ball so hard. So I got my Clone Wars version of Mace Windu where he's got the robes through it and his armor from the Clone Wars, like that original micro series. But I was like, man, this would be so cool to have the one that he rocked through the majority of the Dave Filoni Clone Wars where he's basically just got the gauntlets and we actually get this. And I love the fact that it's just as simple. I mean, it's not a lot to it, but this is what he's rocking in Clone Wars. So now I have a more authentic version of him. And it comes with a clone trooper. And that's always cool to me. I love the fact that he's got a purple one, go along with his sort of purple lightsaber, but that's great. And definitely going to get those two. Very excited about that. Then we also, from Jedi Insider, we've got some more figures coming. We got little Annie. He's coming to the Black Series. And we got an Heir to the Empire set 4-pack. We got Luke. We got his clone. We got Mara Jade coming. And we got Joris Sabath. So looking forward to seeing what those figures look like. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see that. Here's another look at little Annie. He's got his backpack. I think this head sculpt is really good. So very excited about him. Join the line. We got some vintage collections. We got Cassian coming. I still don't think they've done a great job with his head sculpt. They need to do some more work. That likeness is not there. Got another version of Paz Vizsla for you. So if you really, really needed one, there you go. And here's that 2-pack I mentioned earlier. And of course, I'm loving the fact that we've got clone troopers that you can take the helmets off. So this is one I also pre-ordered alongside my Vamp because I said, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You came through, you delivered. That's exactly what I was hoping to get from y'all. But the thing that I was most excited about from the Star Wars team is a pipeline reveal of a clone trooper versus a battle droid 2-pack. I mean, this is the ultimate army builder set. If you've been into the Black Series prequel era, Clone Wars era, this is perfect. Hopefully they don't make this price too ridiculous because I'm going to smash that purchase add to cart option because that's great. You can flood out. You can massively pad out your clone army. You can finally bring some battle droids to the whole display. So really, really happy with that news and cannot wait to get that set. There you go. G. Bruce says, I was looking at the arms and legs on that jack-o'-lantern being like, hey, I see a classic Cyclops in there. I'll take that too. All about the villains. Metalhead is great. He's just like Scrap Iron. You could put both of them into any display of any line and perfect villains. Yeah. Mr. Cheeseburger says we could get a cops line, and I'd be down for that too. That Mace Windu is awesome. He is. I'm so excited about that figure. It's really, really simple and basic, but I'm so happy to get this Clone Wars version. Ryan, that Mace Windu looks awesome. We'll hopefully pick that up eventually. Jibra bought my brother that micro series Mace Windu at Walmart at clearance for $7.50. You made out so much better than I did. I think I paid like $21. I didn't feel bad about it because I really love those micro series, especially when he goes whoop, it just totally messes up General Grievous's vocal cords. So I was happy to get that. And my Clone Wars display is going to be on it. Tombstone does look amazing too. Oh, he did sell out? Oh man, that's wild. I didn't even check it after that was one I was like, nope, I don't even need to wait. Don't need to check out anything because I'm getting this this was a set I wanted. I wanted him, and I wanted that, the Vamp, and I did not delay. Wow, you're right, though. It is sold all the way out. So I'm sure by May 1st, may the 1st be with you in this case. Yeah, we'll get that. Back in stock. Ryan says Mara Jade has been on my need to get shelf for months, so I'm hyped for the last Command 4-pack. I'm really curious to see what they do because I did get that comic book pack, and I'll be okay if that's the only one I get. But throw it in. Jabath is really interesting there. Mr. Cheeseburger says the only thing from Marvel Legends worth collecting is the Toy Biz inspired Spider-Man figures, by one possible exception. That's interesting. So you're not down with these other ones, huh? Let's go into these Marvel Legends since I'm talking about them so long. But let me answer Shameless comments here. I wonder if there will be any other Purple Clone Troopers coming. Also, Mace Windu's battalion is 187. Finn's serial number is Finn 2187. Coincidence? Maybe not. I mean, maybe it is a coincidence. And that's kind of interesting. Good call on that. I totally did not pick up on that. So that's interesting. All About the Villain says Black Series needs to make some destroyer droids. I would buy a ton. I would buy a ton of those too. Finn's serial number is a callback to the original movie. Princess Leia's cell number on the Death Star was 2187. Aha, thank you. All About the Villains. It sold out in minutes. Yeah, because I feel like people, this is where I kind of like, come on, Star Wars Black Series team. There is clear interest in all things Clone Wars. And if you would just do more of those instead of going, here's the latest TV show we're going to make all the characters from it, we don't even know if they're going to be popular yet. Go back to something that is. Clone Wars, Rebels, all that stuff is gold for figures. There's still a ton of characters you can crank out from them, from both shows. And with Ahsoka, you've got an entry point to do more Rebels figures. Blake, Black Series. We need Lobot, Red Snaggletooth, Blue Snaggletooth, and Hammerhead. And a chase one with the blue bathing suit. And the one from Clone Wars. I mean, they get a lot of use out of the Hammerhead mold. Randall, saw the pipeline for the Heir to the Empire Black Series 4-pack. I hope it is cool because I love this series of novels. Only wish it was a vintage collection. I mean, you know the way the Star Wars team goes. Even if there's not this outpouring of vintage collection love, they're going to make sure you're covered on that front. Jay Woods, I can't wait to get my Last Stand Spider-Man. I'm going to put some ML zombies around it to recreate the Thriller video. G. Bruce says, I'm really happy with the Mara Jade I have. Great figure. She does look great. I need to finally get around to opening her. All right, so let's talk about these Marvel Legend figures. We got Scarlet Spider on the new Buck, and I think he really turned out great. Nice sculpt right there in the eyes. It's not painted. That's cool. And all the detail of the web shooters. The belt looks really nice. You can see how deep he can hit that pose. Little toe articulation, so Dan's happy on that. And I have the Scarlet Spider figure, but I think this one's a really nice one as well. Do I need it? Maybe not, but I think it's a really nice looking Scarlet Spider figure, and certainly one that I wouldn't say, I don't need this one. Here's another version of it, and you just love, I love all this articulation this dude can get. I mean, this looks like a really cool pose, and hopefully if we get when we get that Mayfex Superboy, I can put these two against each other. I guess I need the other version of Ben Reilly, but yeah, really nice looking figure. I think they really did a great job showing off how cool he could move and all that great stuff. I think they really knocked out a character who maybe didn't have a lot of love when he first showed up, but they have really done some serious work. And then, of course, you get your vintage wall crawling pose. I think he looks really sharp. So that was one of the first ones we saw from Pulse 127. Then here is the Last Stand Spider-Man. And again, I don't really care about these more modern figures of Spider-Man, but this is just a cool looking figure. And I'm always down. I can always use some more cool figures. And you can always throw these characters into into a Spider-Verse display. So there is a purpose and a use for him. So love that. And I think his detail as well is really cool. Just wondering how that articulation on that torso is going to flow with this jacket. And now I'm hearing Thriller in my head. Thank you so much for that one. Oh, let's see here. Oops, there we go. Brian says also Mace Windu's 187 unit is a reference to a Samuel L. Jackson movie called 187 on an undercover cop. Yes. All About the Villains, the belt. Now I'm hearing Elegante. I want the belt. Mr. Cheeseburgers. Star Wars, like Marvel Legends, are controlled by the owners of the licenses. They make what they're told to make and seemingly have very little control of what they release. I'm sure. Ryan, I actually have Scarlet Spider fighting Tombstone on my display shelf. I knew both needed to be updated, but I'm not sure how badly I want these. Blake, that Scarlet Spider looks great. Just don't love that boot cuff. Yeah, I wish they could fix those. Gabriel, not a Ben Riley fan. I read like maybe 10 comics with him in them. I wasn't reading Spider-Man in the 90s, mostly X-Men, but that figure looks so cool as an instant buy. All About the Villains. I love the Dark Web series. Is that where the last Spider-Man or Spider-Man Last stands from? I think he's a really cool looking figure, though. Like I said, I'll buy him eventually, but he's not a priority as of this moment. But one that's going to be pretty quickly bought, Jack-O-Lantern. I can't stand my old one. He falls and he can't stand. He's just such a problem. But I'm seeing all this detail that would make for a really nice classic Cyclops. But this figure looks great. I love that they've actually incorporated what seems to be better clamshell armor into this figure so he can actually have butterfly shoulder articulation and not have to worry about it messing up. I would happily buy an updated Black Knight figure using almost all this mold because he really needs an update. And I guess he couldn't really use this because with him it's inverted. His arms and legs have this chainmail, not the other way around. But I think they could repurpose some of it at least for him. And his disc, his flying hovering disc, looks really well executed as well. And by the way, of course, can use that the broomstick that he had for much of anything. I love this head. Todd, take note. This is how you do a flaming top. That looks really great. Love how that turned out. I love the detail on the turtleneck too. I just think he's really impressive with everything and the poses you could hopefully do. Hopefully this base will allow him to hit a pose like that. And it's not just camera, magic. We can actually hit that pose and keep him standing in there. I think that would be really, really great because that was my main issue with my original Jack-O-Lantern. And this figure actually has some stuff here. Looks like these all can come out. So I guess we count 5 accessories there in addition to hands that can throw them. That's awesome. He's got the flying disc as well. And a really well done figure. So big win for the Marvel Legends team with those reveals. And here are the rest of them. We've got Hallows Eve, Assassin Spider-Man, and Tombstone figures. These are coming from Marvelous News. Really good work on these. Hallows Eve is a character I don't know anything about, but I love the fact that she's using the newer female sculpt. So she's got double jointed elbows. She's got bicep articulation. This head is kind of interesting. And then she's got different masks. I like that a lot. I think that makes her an interesting and visually cool character. And we got Tombstone in his suit. And this is his other classic look. So this makes sense. He comes with 2 head sculpts, which is great. Love to see that. He's got swappable hands like you'd want, including the mob, come over here finger, and a crowbar. Just keep Jason Todd away from it. So really nice looking job on him. And here's the Assassin Spider-Man, a really nice looking figure as well. Love the little head sculpt there, the action with his chest piece. So really strong new additions. I don't know about Hallows Eve, how much I need her. Maybe I'll need to read up. She's a cool looking character though. And this spider shot with this little blast here to go for his web shooter piece. I think that looks cool. Looks really nice. More shots of Hallows Eve here. And yeah, so he's a really nice looking figure. I'm going to grab him for my Spider-Verse like I already mentioned. And Tombstone, that's his alternate looks. I'm really happy to see him in that as well. I think that pose tells you how the articulation will be. Yeah, gentlemen, you're right. Scarlet Spider does look awesome. Nice ab crunch and hand selection. If I didn't shell out for the Mayfex version, I'd be all over it. Yeah, it's funny, but when they're a little bit slower than Mayfex, it's like, because I feel like a lot of people are like that with Magneto. Like, well, if I hadn't gotten the Mayfex version, I would be all over this one. Mad Planet, I'm tempted to get this figure. All About the Villains. Dark Web series is when Ben Riley becomes Chasm and his girlfriend is the All Hallows Eve. Thank you. Is that a standalone series in a trade format I can track down? Oh, wait a second. Chibiru says no. Dark Web is when Ben Riley goes Evil's Chasm and teams up with Goblin Queen. Jean and Goblin Queen resolve their differences, and Maddie is welcomed back into the X-Men. Now, I'm not so sure I want to read it. Ryan says Jack-O-Lantern looks great. I agree. Chamberlain, Jack-O-Lantern is the Marvel legend that caught my eye the most. I just don't know how we'll be able to display him on the Pogo Ball hover disc. Yeah. Dang, I want to resist, but I think I need that tombstone. Come on in, Ryan. It's a good figure. G-Brew. Hallows Eve has been Riley's girlfriend and she appeared in Dark Web. Digital D says that tombstone is sweet. Classic design. Yeah, G-Brew, I love that series. And she on the new body. Yeah. Brick and Tire says, I'm not big on the Hallows Eve character, but I dig that figure. Yeah. Afton Child. I really like Hallows Eve and cannot wait to get her and Ben Riley. I cannot wait to get Ben Riley too. What happened to Ben Riley and his girlfriend? Why do they turn to villains? I wish I could tell you. Blake, yeah, last week you were discussing how can Marvel Legends improve, and doing these classic figures with the details, accessories, and paint is the way to go. Now we need a redone Luke Cage. Well, they can still do him in a 2-pack with Iron Fist, who we're still waiting on. Jeeber, I quite like the X-Men parts of it, but I haven't followed Spider-Man since One More Day, so none of the Spider-Man stuff makes sense to me. Yeah, I think they really messed themselves up on that one. All About the Villains. Yeah, Dark Web series is from 2022. New series, you got to read it. All right, I may check it out. Well, geez, I think that was everything for these big reveals. What all are you getting? I mean, I feel like a lot of y'all are getting a vamp, but I feel on that Marvel Legends side, Tombstone, Jack-O-Lantern are must for me. The Last Stand Spider-Man, the Assassin Spider-Man, probably going to get those. They're not as high a priority as Tombstone and Jack-O-Lantern. Hallows Eve's another character I'll probably eventually get. I'm really interested, though, if these are going to be figures that we see in Ollie's this time next year. Go, oh, man, I paid $25 for them. One thing I don't like, of course, is, we're paying all this for these figures, and there's no Build-A-Figure piece, and I think there's enough larger scale Spider-Man characters that they could do waves of Build-A-Figures with these Spider-Man figures. Mage TVPTB, respect from Nashville, Tennessee. What's going on, my friend? Ryan. Oh, Jeff, I finally read the first issue of Wesley Dodd Sandman. I really liked it. Rosmo's art reminds me of Tim Sale, but I think the coloring is too vibrant. That might be what was going on with it. The visuals are a little bit off. Then Doom. Now we need an updated Puma to go with Tombstone. Do you not like the earlier Puma? All About the Villains. Tombstone is a great suited figure. I hope his articulation matches up because I really think he's good too. Daniel, can we take a break from the Mando figures from the Mirror Wave? Still got movie shows that need to start. Continue. Solo and Revenge of the Sith need to start. May get hate, but Rise of Skywalker needs it too. I know they're fans of the Rise of the whole sequel trilogy. I'm not going to knock the fans of it. I like the movies, but I think everybody should get every figure, and Star Wars especially, since there's so many. Dog, Anakin, Big Forehead Padme, Jack-O-Lantern, and Tombstone. Mr. Cheeseburger, Vamp, Metalhead, Mud Junkyard, maybe Tombstone, maybe. Jamelin, Jeffrey took the words right out of my mouth on the Marvel figures. The Vamp was my only pre-order. Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, you can still pack in a piece there. We got a whole bunch of them. G. Bruce says Jean Grey surrenders to Maddie and gives her access to her memories of raising Nathan with Scott until they got sense of the future, allowing Maddie a glimpse of the life that was stolen from her. I miss the days when Marvel had villains who were just villains and we didn't need to redeem every one of them. But well, that's what my trade collection, my trade paperback collection is for. All About the Villains. I'm all in on Metalhead, Tombstone, and Jack-O-Lantern. Well, if these do come up on Entertainment Earth and Amazon, I will post the links up for sure on Tuesday. And I got to figure out what kind of movie I'm going to watch on Halloween. If you guys want to do a watch along, post in the comments. I'll see if I can round up the guys to do a Halloween watch along for those movie files. Jalen, I probably would have gotten Mace, but he sold out before I made up my mind. Well, the awesome thing about Pulse is you can always cancel before that stuff comes, especially if you got a May shipping release date, because I think we're okay waiting on those. But yeah, so because some of this stuff sells out way faster than I would expect. Anyway, thank you all so much as always for hanging out with me. Trick or Treat, great movie. Excuse me, says All About the Villains. Oh, thank you, G Brew. Don't worry, Mr. Sinister is still an irredeemable. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that for real, because I need some bad guys to stay bad guys. We've done Juggernaut. I don't know, Sabretooth's still bad. Mystique, Destiny, and other faces. It's just like, geez, who's on the hillside for the X-Men these days? Yeah, let's do a horror watch along. Jeff, were you able to, like, for sure I watched Empire. It was like 11:30, something like that. I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to just spontaneously watch Empire with me, but I definitely did watch it. So we'll do for sure a horror movie on Tuesday, whether it's just me or Chief and Jace do come through. I'll definitely do it on Lyles Movie Files, post in the comments, and I'll try to come up with some ideas. Y'all let me know. Know it down. Maybe like 7 o'clock. We'll do the thing. Take care, Jeff. Hope you're feeling better. Get better soon. Thank you so much. Jeepers, creepers. Okay. We need the villains to stay. See, exactly all about the villains we do. Ryan, thanks again, man. Appreciate you. I'm down for the watch party. All right, we're going to do it on Tuesday. I'll post information very soon. For now, thank you all for hanging out with me on the special live edition of Lyles Figure Files. This episode has been